Oh, hello everyone. Let me just prop you up somewhere so you can see me. Hello everybody. Welcome back to Sunday here for episode 264. Tomorrow will be 265. So today is Sunday the 28th. Yeah, I think today is Sunday the 28th. Tomorrow's the 29th. The 30th is Tuesday and the 1st is Wednesday. So today's the 28th. Tomorrow's the 29th will be 265, and then 266 will start our December. And then by my calculations, if we do this properly, we can do 25. We can do 25 for the month. And I do plan to do all 25 because if we do 25, so if you do 20, that'll be 260, that'll be 286. So we'll get around 291. And I do plan to do all of them, so I plan not to miss too much because I got more energy right now. So I told you guys I would give my thoughts on King Richard, which was the movie I saw with my friend Megan. King Richard, I have to say, I'm not going to spend too long about it because I want you guys to obviously watch it for yourselves. King Richard, if you guys are aware, is about Serena and Venus Williams and their rise to the top. But it focuses around the life of the family and also Richard Williams himself, how he taught the kids to, practice hard, not to give into too much pressure, and also, keep yourselves humble just because you make it big and stuff like that. So the movie is set around California. They're in Compton. Obviously, it's typical area where a lot of crime happens and where there's a lot of people. And, they do a good job of kind of setting up the tone, the racial tone a little bit, because you got to remember they started off in Compton in circles around the world, or especially in the early 80s, early 80s, early 90s. So it starts around when Serena and Venus are younger. They teach them to, play tennis and, to keep them off the streets. Obviously, they don't want them, on the streets or in a gang or, having drug problems or anything, or having to, there's one lady that's, a neighbor that's across the street, neighbors for them, that obviously, there's that one joke where the daughter's, on the corner selling her body, of course, prostitution, because, when you're in that type of area or in any area that's low income or not great places. There's places here in Boston and some low income areas like Lynn or Chelsea or something like that. But their aim is to make sure that that the kids don't do drugs, they don't drink alcohol, they don't get into prostitution, all that other sort of stuff. And I really and that kind of made the movie more. It made it much more historically accurate and environmentally and also culturally accurate, because they didn't start off in the greatest of places, and keeping five kids off the streets and out of trouble, is very hard. But what King Richard has them do is he teaches them that they have, there's rules to obviously make it in life, and he doesn't want them wasting their time, spending time with guys that aren't going to make it in life. I mean, you can see some of the guys in the movie are trying to make moves on some of his daughters, and he doesn't want that because they're not going to go anywhere, because all they're going to do is shoot hoops, go to school, do drugs, and all this other bull crap, and whistle at the girls when they're not going to go anywhere, because Richard will sit there and say, they're not going to do anything because you guys are going to be way better. them given the time. So I thought there was racial tension, which is what I liked. And it being more of a African-American based film, I thought they did it in the right amount, and they didn't go all over the place. Like, they focused on him and the making sure his girls were well educated and make sure they knew about the world, and they weren't put in a bubble and made into this. They get into the real world in case tennis failed or something happened, because in case they got injured while they were playing, they didn't, they had something to fall back on, and they could make use of themselves in other ways by being smart, being well educated, being humble. That's one thing he taught them. There's one scene in the movie where they have to watch Cinderella, and they watch it every time. I guess it's like every time they achieve something, they have to watch them. And, the reason why he has them do that in the movie is because he wants them, remember your roots. Just because everybody's mean to you and you stay humble and you focus on what you need to do and you live within your means. And this is seen throughout the whole movie where, they get contracts for $3-4 million. And Williams just outright disagrees. Even Venus, who takes one of the contracts in the movie, says, no, I don't want to take it because it takes away from my family and it takes away from me. And what do I need money to make me happy for? They somehow, figure out how to do things, how to make money. And obviously when they meet Rick Massey, they pay for the stuff, they have contracts, and, they're able to make ends meet and all this other stuff. And, they all work and they do whatever. Even King Richard has a security job, so he knows how to protect the world. And the mother is a nurse, so, they have people who, provide for their kids and try to give their kids a better future because, they didn't live in the greatest of means, but obviously they wanted them to live better. And, it was a great movie to just kind of teach people that, you can, it's great to empower people to make the right decisions and to not act a certain way. That's the reason why when I try to solve problems or I try to help my friends out do something, you try to do it in the best way possible and how you handle it and not how they would want to handle it, so you can get results. I've done that with Tom, Megan, and everybody else that I've known. I've tried to, solve the problems within my means and also within my skills. And some people that have tried to mess with them have obviously figured it out the hard way that that's what it is. And, so, it was a fairly decent movie, and, it was, it's about an hour and 45 minutes. So it was about an hour and 45 minutes. So it wasn't quite, so it was about 60 minutes, 120. So it was about 2 hours and about 20. So it was about 2 hours and 25 minutes, which felt about right. For a movie, it's tough to do a biopic in that much time, and a lot of people think, oh, that's the reason why it didn't do so well earning stuff. But you got to remember, this is a biopic, and sometimes biopics take a long time. They just don't want to sit there and no, they could have time-lapsed everything, and which they did, but that would have taken away from, a lot of people don't understand that these especially with these inspirational biopics, you can't compress it down into an hour and a half. You have to do it in more than, doing it 2 hours and like 25 minutes. That may seem like a lot to everybody, but that's in the grand scheme of things. Could have been a little bit longer. But I think that's the right length to kind of teach people that, you want to stay humble, you want to practice, you want to work hard, and you want to give you want to be, he wanted those kids to be educated to make the right decisions, to keep their brains straight, and make them more resilient, which you actually see in one of the matches. Serena goes down like a couple of games. She comes back, calms down, and then she ends up beating one of the kids in one of the tournaments when she's with Paul. I forget what it's. I don't know if it's Paul Agassi or I think it's Paul Agassi or something like that. She calms down, comes back, and that's how they were taught. Don't get riled. And then eventually at the end of the movie, she ends up going up against the top seed in the world, Vaccaro. And first half of the game, she does very well, and then she has her all shaken up. And she's only 14 at the time, and Vaccaro had been pro longer than she had when she debuted at 14 years old in 1994. I believe it was. Vaccaro had been pro for almost a decade, 9 years. And she stood toe-to-toe with her for about half the game. And unfortunately, she took a break, got Venus off her game, and eventually ended up walking away with it a little bit. She fought very good, but I think at the end she kind of just missed because she didn't pace herself, and she figured it out that and I think there's articles around that say she should have won. I think it was a tactic to keep her off her game, and there's always people out there that are gonna do certain things because they're gonna figure out your rhythm, and for her to go toe to toe with somebody that had been professional for almost 9 years, I believe it was, pretty damn good. And at the age of 14, also pretty damn good. So, and I think she's 41 now, and she's pretty successful. Obviously, Serena, as you guys know, if you guys look it up, Serena is also very successful, but better. She's one of the best all-time players. But both of them kind of were an inspiration to, because at the end of the movie, you see a bunch of the younger girls who watched the game. They were like, she was an inspiration to a lot of younger women. And at that time, it was the 90s, and that was kind of big in a way. So, she was an inspiration. I'm definitely going to recommend it. It's on the same level as Respect. You work hard, you have your adversities. I think this did a little bit better looking at the adversities, especially since it was from because these girls were younger and stuff like that. I know they're two different genres. I know Respect was based on singing, and I know this was based on sports, but this was a good sports biopic thriller. It's pretty good. I don't care what anybody says about it. I don't care what it makes at the box office. The movie will have cultural significance, especially now with the way how things are racially. I think this will be important. Now, I'm not saying that to be an advocate. I'm not saying that because I'm not trying to be woke or anything. It's just that this is what I believe in. I believe that this is very inspirational for women that are trying to, especially ones of color or of any race, should form their plans around this. And this is what makes people believe, especially, you know, in a world where, I mean, in a post-Trump world where women were kind of like, I think this is huge. So I think this is a great biopic. It was definitely great. I don't think it was centered along Richard too much. I think they did a good job of putting him into the frame. He was definitely instrumental in making who they were, being their coach early on, because your family will coach you no matter what. And, you know, it's just great. I mean, both the mother and the father were both involved, and that's the reason why they succeeded. And they made the right choices of not letting, you know, fame get to their heads and all that other stuff. I mean, he didn't want them to brag. I mean, that's the reason why they watched the Cinderella movie, because he didn't want them bragging and stuff like that. He wanted them to be regular people, humble people. And Rick Massey said to him, King, Richard, why are you doing this? Why you cancel practice? Why are you going to Disney World? And he was telling him, you have to let them be 14-year-olds. You have to let them be kids. You can't expose them to that because they're not pro yet. Let them get all that fame, all that money, and then they can do it. You have to start out with a good base. It's like anything else in life. The movie is very down to the basics, down to earth type teaching. He's basically right. You know, I want to teach these girls, and this is for anybody. This doesn't have to be the girls. This can be for guys, anybody trying to reach a dream. It's important to stay humble, know your roots, and not let anything get ahead of you, because at the end of the day, you're just a human being, and everything is all relative, because you don't know what's going to happen in life. He wanted them to be prepared just in case anything happened. And guess what? They did what they did. Their preparation was right, and they did better. And he even predicted that Serena was going to be better than Venus, because she was, because I think she has like 23 Grand Slam titles to her name. I believe Venus has, I forget how many, 13 or 14. But Serena and Venus as a team, no one's been better. You know, and they played each other. So it definitely shows that, you know, growing up in a family that's scored and well done. And I've grown up with a family like that, so I definitely believe in the movie. You can rebound from anything. And I think this movie does it great. So anybody who's looking to rebound, inspire themselves, good movie. I don't care what the critics say. I don't give a rat's behind what Siskel and Ebert and whoever they are, or the Hollywood critics say about this movie. It's not, this movie goes beyond the numbers and beyond the box office. This movie will definitely, I know it's going to be an HBO Max because, you know, no one wants to go to the movie theaters, but I think this movie definitely goes beyond the numbers and the box office numbers. It depends on what you feel. And there's been some good movies that really haven't gotten there. There's a good one would be Once Upon a Time in America. The reason why is because that movie was a little too long. It started to gain popularity, you know, like, oh, hey, why didn't this so do good in the box office? It's because of that. So there's certain things, and a lot of people are going to sit there like, oh, this is another woke thing and stuff like that. No, this movie has been put out at the right time when, you know, we're struggling and when we need to empower ourselves. This is just not for the African American community. This is for everybody. So yeah, that's my thought on King Richard. And I thought the ending was pretty good. They sat there and even told the daughter at the end, and I believe true story is, you know, you went toe to toe with the best. and you did pretty well, so you should be proud. And I'm pretty sure they had defeats, and I'm pretty sure that they got outplayed, but they always remembered those matches. So you should always remember your minor successes, even if you were your minor successes, even in the middle of a game. You should always remember your minor successes, because you never know when that's gonna come, and then you build on that. A lot of people will sit there and like, oh, you only did half the job. You did it good for the start, and you did half the job. I don't believe in that. You build. You may get some things wrong, but you build on that and you get stronger. I don't care what anybody else says. Everybody may have their opinions. I don't believe other people's opinions, because, I'll know when I'm doing something wrong, and I have a certain way, and some people may not like it. You have to have your own way. People can only tell you so much, but you have to do it your own way, because that's what makes you successful. What makes me successful at work, I'll tell you, I keep my mouth shut, do the job, I don't complain, and I work hard, and I keep on improving. People can laugh, people can have a haul, they're like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm like, in due time, I will be better. So, and I've done that over the years. Like, everybody's like, oh, you won't be any good. You won't be any good. Best is yet to come. So, just want to reiterate that. All right, everybody. These rumbles may come out here. I've already been here for like 21 minutes. So, I believe it's like 5 past midnight. So, I'll see you guys later. And hope you guys enjoyed this 20-minute review of King Richard. I thought it was a great movie. I just wanted to say there was great storytelling. It did great for, it had a good balance of, racial tensions, what the girls had to deal with, how their lives were structured, and how successful they were. And, they were disciplined a lot, but it kept them off the street. And look at them at 41 for Venus and 40 for Sharina. They're successful. They're at the top of their game. They're greatest. They're probably the greatest of all time, and they will be known in tennis forever. So King Richard. So this movie proves that working hard, not slacking off, and doing your job and keeping your mind straight is what's going to get you good and get you recognized. Proof's in the pudding in the movie. So I'll see you guys later. As usual, everybody, long live America. Long live our freedoms and our rights. Pray for all the souls out there that we've lost and all those trying to recover from COVID. Also pray for my friends, both past and present. Let them all overcome their obstacles, and let all the women out there that want to reach their dreams and overcome their obstacles, stay strong, keep that iron skin. So, peace out, everybody. I'll see you guys later. Since the show for tonight, I will see you on 265 tomorrow. Well, it is tomorrow, but I'll see you later tomorrow night when I do 265. Peace out, everybody, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.